March is Fraud Awareness Month, and we want to do what we can to help people prevent from getting involved in scams and all kind of things that can happen with fraud. So today we are talking to Amira and Kimberly from Synergy Credit Union about fraud awareness and specifically about identity theft. So we're going to start out, first of all, by talking about identity theft. And can you tell me what exactly is it?
Identity theft is when a malicious act obtains your personal identifying information and uses it for financial gain. They may buy things using your funds, max out your cards, drain your savings, or apply for credit cards and leave you with the bill.
How serious is identity theft?
Yeah, so identity theft is actually the fastest growing nonviolent crime in Canada, with more incidents occurring year over year, every year.
Well, let's talk about how it happens, if we can get into that a little bit. How do things like this happen?
Imagine getting a call from your bank saying there has been an error with your account. They ask you a couple identifying identity confirming questions like your birthday. They ask you to confirm your debit card number or maybe your credit card number. Then they do something on their end and tell you that the problem has been resolved. During that call, which sounded like any other bank call, you had no way to confirm that you were actually speaking with your bank. Whoever you spoke to now has all your information they need to cause you some real trouble. Identity is often stolen through mail. What do you do with your monthly bank statements once you've read them? If they're just thrown in the trash, they do contain a lot of pertinent information that fraudsters can use to pose as you.
It's kind of scary when you think about how this can happen. And Amira, I'll maybe ask you just to expand a little bit on some of the scenarios.
Yeah, for sure. Another example is maybe receiving an email from your cell phone provider or someone that seems legitimate. So these types of email uses a link for you to click, which will then ask you to provide your specific personal information, such as what Kim mentioned: name, birthday, account number, and other information. So when you enter this information, you then become like a victim of the fraudsters. So yeah.
Well, and how do you know if your identity has been stolen?
So the only way to know for sure is to really pay attention. So keep an eye on your statements, on your transactions, and you can also check your free credit report from Equifax or TransUnion, which you can get this twice a year. These will be the first ways to see if there's anything going on using your identity. And other signs could be like, your bills not arriving or statements showing transactions you didn't make.
And what can be done to prevent identity theft?
Luckily, it's very easy to protect yourself from identity theft. You just need to be diligent about safeguarding your financial information. This means having strong passwords on your computers and your phones, shredding any documents with personal information. If you don't intend to use it, being careful what you reveal online and social media, and keeping a close eye on your mailbox.
You mentioned about shredding documents. So what type of documents should be shredded?
Yeah, so if you're not keeping it in a personal filing cabinet or a safe place, you should really consider shredding anything from your bank statements, ATM receipts, any addressed envelopes, pay stubs, resumes, some pre-authorized or pre-approved credit card offers. So really, basically anything that reveals a lot of your personal information.
Now, if your identity has been stolen, what do you do? What are the steps that you take?
If you realize that your identity has been stolen, there are a few steps that you should take immediately. First, if your card or your account has been compromised, contact the issuer or the branch and report it stolen. Next, try to remember any of the interactions that you had with the thief and write them all down. After that, contact your local police and file a police report. Finally, contact ID theft services. They will help walk you through making an identity theft statement and help you with the next steps.
And what about online? What can I do online to protect myself from these types of frauds and scams?
Yes, so I would maybe share like first avoid accessing your secure information on any public Wi-Fi, such as like coffee shop or an airport, right? So second, be careful of what's visible on your social media, especially if it's like a public account. So a lot of the security questions nowadays, include like questions about your personal life, like pet's name, where you went to school, and stuff like that. So people can also use what you're posting online to determine if you're home or you're out of like on a vacation. So yeah, just finally protect yourself from receiving text messages or emails using your best judgment.
All right, ladies, that is some great information. Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Stacy.
Thanks.